Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now I am just fucking excited for today's show because I am going to interview somebody from a Kevin Smith movie, not just anybody, but the woman who sucked 37 dicks in Clerks. Veronica herself, Marilyn Ghigliotti. And I am just so fucking astounded that I'm going to interview her and stuff. I mean, she's become iconic from that movie. And I'm just so fucking excited. I can't tell you at all into words how fucking excited I am. It's going to be so cool. I'm going to ask her, about that movie and about, the making of it and why her career didn't go huge after that and stuff. I mean, she's continued to work since then, but I want to find out a little bit more about why she didn't work with Kevin Smith more after that, or at all, I mean, and find out everything else. So it's going to be pretty fucking cool today. And yeah, I can't even put into words how fucking great it is. So here is my interview with Marilyn Ghigliotti.
Hello.
Hi, Marilyn. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Wow, it's such an honor because Clerks had a huge impact on me years ago. With the writing, the dialogue, the acting, and Veronica inspired me later on to become an expert on blowjobs.
Okay.
So did you know at an early age that you wanted to be an actress?
No, I did not. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Just getting over a cold, so things are a little kind of...
Yeah.
Still a little, But, no, I didn't. At a young age, I was always interested in the arts. I did a little doodling. I wanted to dance and take classes. I was always drawn to something that was creative, but
Right.
I didn't think in the sense of, being an actor. I didn't know that was anything that I could do, even though I watched them, all the time on TV and stuff like that. But it's not something that was thought or instilled in me that it's something that's possible.
Mm-hmm. That who did you love in movies when you were growing up?
Oh gosh, I remember. I'm gonna age myself here. I mean, I remember the musicals with Danny Kaye and things like that. That's what's kind of coming to mind as of right now. But Elvis Presley. Gosh, so many. But to say that anyone inspired me, I can't say that. There wasn't any one person that inspired me to become an actor or anything like that. I mean, because it was just something that happened in my life, and just kind of found myself there. So.
When was that?
As far as like finding myself into acting.
Yes.
So, gosh, couldn't tell you the exact year, but essentially, I was married, got divorced, was searching for myself, just trying to find outlets for myself and things like that. But also during the interim, I was working in a salon and one of the girls there, she took dance classes. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go to dance class with her. You know, it's like I've always wanted to take dance classes, so there's an opportunity now to actually go and do it. So it, you know, slowly but surely, I'm just kind of finding my way into the creative arts. I mean, I'm no dancer by any means, and I'm no singer.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I can dance a little. I can kind of sing, but I wouldn't hold me to it.
Yeah, I read that you worked in a salon. Did you do nails?
Nope, I'm a hair and makeup artist. So in the salon, I did haircuts, colors, perms, and all that good stuff, but not. I mean, am I allowed with my license to do nails? Yes, it's not something that I particularly care to do. That.
Yeah, I've been doing my nails since I was like 13. And I thought that maybe that would explain why you had Dante do your nails in that one scene.
No, you know, I don't even remember how that came about. I can't remember whose idea that was. To be honest. And I honestly can't even remember if it was in the script as well.
Yeah. I mean, he had Dante do that again in the second one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I thought that was a nice little touch, actually, because it shows who he is.
Yeah. So, okay, so you started acting, and what kind of plays did you do?
So I did 2 Neil Simon plays. Most of the plays that I've done have been comedies. There were a couple of dramas in there, one of them being an original that I also did with Ryan, called Sabona. And it basically means good day or good morning in African. And it was an original play by someone very dear to us who's passed away now a couple years. But it was an autobiographical play based on apartheid. It was a pretty intense piece. I really loved that one. That was one of my favorites. Yes, my first one was a Chekhov Neil Simon thing called The Doctor. And I almost didn't actually get to play that role because the theater was located in the basement of a church. And so my role was one of the 3-person skits, and where dad is taking his son to become a man. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And so the church kind of had an issue with that one. So I was like, oh no, I'm not going to get to play my role. And but no, they went ahead with it anyway. So it was fun.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Oh my God. So yeah, how I discovered Clerks. I was 13 years old. I saw Mallrats first because that movie, was a wider release and stuff, and I absolutely loved that movie. But the first time I saw Clerks, not too long after that and stuff, at the time I did not like it as much because I didn't get the sex jokes, and I didn't get the intellectualized Star Wars references and all that stuff. And then I didn't see another Kevin Smith movie until 2002 with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And I went back and saw all the Kevin Smith movies again, and Clerks, at the age of 19, I got it and just became obsessed with it, and I watched it almost every day for a couple of years. I just loved it, and I just got it, and I felt like Dante at that place in time. Dante's very complacent and in a comfort zone, and that's what I was in at that time and stuff. And I wanted to be a filmmaker for a short time, and even tried to make a short film. in the style of it, but it didn't work out. And then I fell into stand-up comedy a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how did you get so lucky to play Veronica?
Just hearing about the audition that was held at one of the theaters that I've done stage work at, and I basically went and I had a monologue, and yeah, basically it's like I did my monologue and I got picked. I mean, I got lucky.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that Kevin gave you the role not just because he thought you were right for the role, but also because maybe you were the first girl that read that wasn't offended by the script?
No, I mean, I don't know who had read. Well, actually, none of us knew what we were auditioning for. We only knew that it was going to be a film made by somebody. It's like we didn't even know him. We didn't know who it was. When we attended, like we didn't know anything. We just knew we were going in to audition and we had our monologue. There was no concept of what it was that was being handed to us. And from what I understand and what has been put out there, it's like because of the simple fact of my monologue was an emotional piece. Something that actually I kind of hold very dear to me. It was found in a monologue book, but something that I really resonated with. And it's basically about someone who doesn't feel like they're seen. No matter what she does in life, she is not seen. And to some degree, for me, when I first got on that stage, and the fact that people were listening to me, it was like, wow. That's one thing that kind of drew me to acting. It's like people are actually listening to what I have to say. That's not usual. But because my piece was an emotional piece, and even though I felt I've done it way better than what I did for that, and it was filmed, so it is in the 10th anniversary DVD. I got emotional, and for them, they were like, "Holy crap, she cried! She was able to cry." So that's, from what I understand, the reason why I got the role.
Wow.
Even though Veronica does not cry in the script.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly, but she does get emotional and upset at the end of the movie.
Yes, well, emotional in the sense of like, you gonna treat me this way? Okay.
Yeah. So how did you relate to Veronica?
In the sense that I am someone who, when you become someone special in my life, I do those kind of things for that person. I will go out of my way for that person. And it's been burned for it sometimes, but I'm not going to let that change who I am. I just become a little bit more cautious, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, she has a tricky complexity about her because obviously she loves Dante. She visits him many times a day at work. She brings him lasagna. She fights off an angry mob with a fire extinguisher. And yet she has a past that Dante doesn't like. And even though he's still in love with his ex-girlfriend from high school who used to cheat on him. And so Veronica's morality is questioned until towards the end of the movie. I mean, at least Caitlin had the ultimate revenge on her with that dead guy.
Yes. I mean, it is funny because I guess it works both ways, where with be it man or be it woman, falling for the person who doesn't treat us well. But I think it's a notion, in our heads. It's like that we can't fall in love with someone who treats us right. And I think people need to kind of realize that it's not the case, and that we're all worth something.
Was there a lot of rehearsal?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I really like when it comes to working with Kevin. Even though I have not to work with him again, I do understand though, and I've heard he still does the same thing. It's like he does have rehearsals. He does have going through the script and just it may not be an in-depth rehearsal, but at least it's a rehearsal for the lines and what we're going to be doing. It's like, because usually for any kind of film, rehearsal is when you get on set and you're blocking the scene. That's pretty much rehearsal. But it's nice that Kevin does sit with the actors in the script to kind of work out any questions that might be there and to really give the dialogue what it needs, especially with his dialogue, because it's so wordy.
Yeah, and then there wasn't a whole lot of takes, was there?
No, there wasn't a whole lot of room for takes.
Yeah.
Back in the day of film. Today, it doesn't matter. Digital, hey,
Yeah, I hate when the critics, they say, when they say when there's a movie like that shot for that amount of money and on that and not a whole lot of takes and everything, they say that the acting is bad. It's not bad. It's just the acting is very good, but they had to do what they could, and maybe that there had been more takes, maybe it could have been New York method style of acting, right?
Yeah, that is true. It's like I never even looked at it that way, but very good point. It's like, had we had the opportunity to do the third, fourth, or fifth take, maybe it could have been better. So yeah, I mean, all I know is that for the most part, the certain things that I wasn't crazy about that I had seen in the original version that was taken to IFFM, taken out. And so I was happy with the final result of what was put out, after it was released by Miramax. Like, just certain little scenes that were like, oof, I don't know about that, So but for the most part, I'm happy with what wound up on screen for myself.
That's great. Yeah. Oh my God. The alternate ending, Dante got shot.
Yeah. Nobody cared for that one.
No. Especially for your first movie, and you don't know if the movie's going to be successful or not, and sequelizing it. You never know, and stuff. I remember reading about there was a scene that was cut out for budget reasons where you actually see them at the funeral, and years later they actually animated that sequence, and I've seen it on YouTube. It's so friggin' hilarious. It would have been perfect for the movie, though, but also the way they animated it, though, now it's better left animated.
Yeah.
Dante's like talking about how he wish he had spent more time with the girl and stuff, and all Randall's doing is talking about her belly button. Yeah, it's pretty funny. How was Jay on that movie? Was he well behaved?
Honestly, it's like I did not get to work with Jason. I really didn't see him very. I don't think I saw him at all. Actually, I don't know. So I can't say, because the times that I was there were not the same times that he was there. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I heard on Mallrats, he would like disappear on the set, and they had to like wander off and find him and everything.
Right. Yeah, I heard that as well. I mean, I think it's pretty much out there for everybody to see.
Yeah. When the movie came out, there was a critic who described Kevin's writing as a cross between David Mamet and Howard Stern.
I'm one of those people that, yes, I love acting and I love watching movies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people that is very name aware and that has all those little nuances of information.
Yeah.
The way that I can put it. I'm bad at that. I'm super bad at that.
Oh, I'm so.
But I mean, I don't know that I don't know. For me to compare him to like, I can't remember who David Mamet is. I know the name, but Howard Stern. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I set myself down to listen to Howard Stern because honestly, I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I would compare him to that because I do get entertained by Kevin's work and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, brilliant. I would though put the David Mamet part in because David Mamet likes to write profane dialogue with lots of fucks in it and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course Kevin is his own guy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And stuff. So the movie goes to Sundance. It gets picked up by Miramax and becomes a critical hit. Was it at all hard for you to get work after that?
It definitely wasn't easy. It still isn't. So coming back after Sundance, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Had I known how to utilize what was happening,
mm-hmm.
I think things could have gone in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't say that for sure. I don't know. But most definitely, even though a lot of people in the industry then knew who we were,
mm-hmm.
I think had we known how to utilize and capitalize on what was happening at that time, I think it would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't.
Do you think maybe you guys got compared to the movie that Kevin Smith was influenced by, Richard Linklater's Slacker?
Ask me that question again. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understood it.
Do you think maybe they were comparing you guys to like Richard Linklater's movie Slacker, which influenced Kevin, and that they were like, it's just another one of those? And
I don't know. I don't know, because that's trying to put yourself in someone else's head.
mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I don't know that was the case. For me, it's definitely. Had I, I was green. I was still pretty green. I'm coming from a theater background, and I had only been doing it for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so then this is my first film experience, and what an experience to experience. All this notoriety, all this buzz that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing for Kevin is the fact that it was his movie. So then Miramax picks it up, and he gets an agent right away, and that agency starts to take care of him in the same respect that we should have kind of been taking care of ourselves as actors to propel us to the next level. And again, we just did not know that. We didn't know. I didn't know. Oh, hey, I it could have helped us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at that time, there was no internet, you know.
Yeah. It's like, not, it's just having someone with that little bit of knowledge for us would have been tremendous, I think.
Yeah. And, I mean, did Kevin ever ask you to be in any of his other movies?
No, and a little tidbit here, from what I understood, because once I moved out to California, and I can't remember how many years later, a manager that I had reached out to his camp, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and so then it was relayed to me because, well, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack a little bit, and my memory lapsed there because he did ask me to be in Chasing Amy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the role that played opposite Joey Lauren Adams, playing her girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And funny thing is that I met Joey in Miami at a convention, and so I said to her, like, yeah, we were supposed to be in a movie together. I was supposed to play your girlfriend in Chasing Amy, and she's like, well, why didn't you? And I didn't know what I was going to say to her at that time. And the only thing that came to my mind basically was like, well, I was afraid of challenges at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was uncomfortable with that part,
Yeah.
And things are different today. I don't know. It's like I'm not in that position right now, so but I'm a lot more comfortable with my experience as well as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
But so fast forward again to where I backtrack. Fast forward to again. I don't know when that my manager contacted Kevin's camp, and he was told that because I had to turn down that role in Chasing Amy, I would never be asked again.
Mm-hmm.
But fast forward to when I met Joey, and Brian and I and Joey and her husband, we all went to dinner one night, and we actually got on the conversation. And so she was saying, is like, yeah, that probably did not come from Kevin. That probably came from Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, yeah. So now, because it's like, for Harvey, it's like, well, once you turn down the role, it's like, you will never get asked again. It's like, because she couldn't conceivably think that Kevin would be the one person behind that. And it made sense to me, especially going back, like a year or two with all the Me Too movement. So,
Yeah. Well, that would have been that would have been awesome, though, to see you and Joey Lauren Adams kissing.
well, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm from San Francisco. I got lots of gay and lesbian friends, so I support it. And the scripts I write all have lesbian characters in them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have no trouble with the issue. It's just more of a comfort thing for me. I mean, my brother's gay, he's married, and I'm like, I have plenty of gay and lesbian friends. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it was just a matter of a lot of things, I think, for me at that time, and comfort, experience, and just really not knowing who I was at that point in the sense of not very confident in who I was as an actor. I was a very insecure person growing up, very shy, very introverted. So, it took a long, long time for me to come and realize a lot of things about myself and doing very retrospective and spiritual things for myself to at one point kind of saying to myself, it's like, am I more afraid of actually getting to my goal as an actor, becoming an actor, being known, or am I more fearful of the fact if I don't make it there?
Yeah.
So yeah, like for me, the thought of not making it something that was just not something I can be comfortable with. So that kind of got me out of my way to a degree to just step out of my comfort zone and do things that that challenge me.
That makes sense. Did you see the cartoon?
I've not seen the cartoon, only except for what was aired, but that's about it, which is way too long ago.
I got all 6 episodes. It's fucking hilarious. It's like, it reminds...
Brian tells me, because we were at a convention, and, conversations come up at the conventions when fans ask certain things or whatever, but he did say that he did see the concept art for me, so had the cartoon probably gone on, that I may have been a character in there. I'm only hoping, but that's, let's move this point anyway.
Yeah. It's a lot like Family Guy. It's just so wrong and so funny. How about, did you see Clerks 2?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, God, I knew it wasn't going to be like the first one, because it's a lot more polished and everything. But I love it, actually, if not more than the first. And just Jeff Anderson's got so many great lines Kevin gave him in that one.
Yeah, no, I think it was really great, and I got to see it with everybody. When not the latest Bulgarathon, but the last Bulgarathon that they had since the latest Bulgarathon that they had in Jersey, and I was especially oh my God, I can't think of the word. I told Jason that I was very proud of him for what he had done in that film, because I thought it showed a lot of growth.
Yeah, pretending that he has a vagina.
Well, I mean, not necessarily that in particular, but just as an actor.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah, he did get better as things went on, especially by the time they did Dogma, he got really good. So you do signings at conventions?
I have done. I haven't done one since February. I was up in Syracuse, New York. But I don't have anything scheduled lately. Unfortunately, I just not as popular as some of the others, so I don't get booked, and because I think because I'm here in California, they may not see the return value coming through the door if they've got to spend money on getting me out there and guaranteeing me,
Yeah. So. But you enjoy it?
I love them. I love seeing the fans. I love getting to be with Ryan and Scott and anybody else who's there from the VSQ family, and getting to meet the other guests that are there as well, and the whole experience, and seeing, well, what can I see new here? The costumes that are made by people, everything. I just love everything about it.
Do any male fans though ever make you uncomfortable with like the 37 reference or anything?
I'm not going to say that there hasn't been a few. I mean, it's all on the delivery. Some people just get cross that line a little bit. I mean, I don't mind when it's all in fun, but some people just don't realize that crossing of the line, and be it at conventions or be it on social media. So, I can make fun of it too, and usually I will try to be the first one too.
You ever get a guy who asks you if you've ever actually snowballed a guy? Nice, nice. Well, I apologize if I just did.
Well, you didn't ask me personally. You asked if anybody else had those.
2 years ago, I met Kevin. He came to the Bay Area to do a show at the San Jose Improv. He was showing his movie Yoga Hosers and doing a Q&A. And the show was delayed so much that night because they had technical difficulties with the projector because they don't show movies at the Improv. It's a comedy club, and Kevin, he likes to talk, and so he just entertained the crowd, just telling stories and being funny and talk about the movie and stuff. And at the end, after the movie had been over, he delivered this very touching speech about how, when he made Clerks, there was no internet, the technology hadn't gotten better yet. And then he starts talking about how, he kind of invented the podcast. And he starts talking about how anybody can take out their iPhone and record a podcast and stuff. And that night he really inspired me to do it, and it took me about a year to do it afterwards because I was not living in a good circumstance at the time. I was homeless and I was just living in temporary housing and stuff. But now that my mother and I have a place again, I got privacy and I can do it, and I've been doing this a year now.
Well, congratulations, though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
an achievement.
Absolutely, yeah. And when I met him, I was probably the 1 millionth person to tell him how much I love his work and that I was influenced by him in my writings and I want to work with him and stuff. And he told me, at that time he was working on the Mallrats series, and he had meetings with like Netflix and Amazon or whatever to do it. And he told me to come out there and audition when the word gets out and everything. Well, it never happened and stuff. I mean, it probably will in the future at some point, somewhere. But he told me, yeah, come out there and stuff. And I was just so touched by that. And I was super scared earlier this year when he had his heart attack.
Yeah, many of us were.
Yeah, just like him, I have a stent in my heart. I had a car accident a few years ago, and I had a heart attack in the process, and I spent like 30 days in a coma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was very relatable and very scary. When I heard,
Glad you're okay?
yeah, I mean,
Okay, good.
knock wood. I had so many injuries. Not that I should have been dead, but I should have because given what happened and stuff.
Right.
But I'm very lucky that I'm here and pursuing my dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you have any upcoming movies or convention appearances you want to plug?
So I don't have any convention appearances, but, so let's see here. I'm trying to remember it all. Because I got so much going on. It's sometimes daunting, But earlier this year, I did a short film in Utah with a friend, Tom Proctor. It was his directorial debut, and so he hired me to do hair and makeup as well as do a character on the film. Funny character, actually, I have to say. Once I got back, I had an idea for a short film many years ago that I was just like, all right, because I've been wanting to direct for quite a while, that I just got myself to a certain point that I needed to kind of either get shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Basically what I said to myself.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going to put this short film into effect because I have a feature film that I want to direct as well. And so who's going to give me money to direct this feature film if I haven't directed anything before? So I needed to show that I can. So I was 2 weeks into this, getting things together, getting my crew together, when I was contacted by some other friends that they were putting some short films together and making it as affordable as possible by using one location for multiple shoots of different shorts. And they wanted me to act in two of them, but they also wanted me to come on as a producer.
Right.
Right. Well, I just happened to start doing this, and one thing that I was going to do was that's I'm going to say is the one thing of why it took me so long. Did not want to beg for money.
Right.
I was kind of along the same lines as Kevin's, thought of crowdfunding. I don't want to beg for money. But I realized I'm going to have to beg for money. So, so their idea was that they were going to be crowdfunding this as well. And so then I started my journey with them, brought my short in with theirs, and so we had our crowdfunding not that long ago, but unfortunately it didn't do very well. So, we're still trying to get our money together, but we are kind of set to shoot during the vacation hiatus, of the industry, somewhere around November, December.
Wow.
And so I've got that kind of going on, but I'm also going to be directing one of the other writers' pieces as well. So very different from mine, which is great, I feel, and I can visually really see her piece. So that's why I was like, she didn't have anybody attached to direct. I'm like, I'll do it. So I've got that, and now next weekend I'm supposed to go up to Sacramento to shoot a short film as well. So I got some things kind of coming along the pike there. I did a sci-fi titled Evolution War with good friend, writer, director, all around, wears many hats, Neil Johnson. I've done 3 of other sci-fis of his, so looking forward to when that comes out. Let me see what else.
Got a lot going on.
It's hard to keep track of it all, to be honest, because I have my survival job as well. So I'm doing all of this, and it gets difficult.
Yeah, God bless you, though. I mean, God, you're just working tirelessly, it sounds like.
Well, because I have not reached my goal. My goal is that I do not have to have a survival job, and that I'm actually able to make a living as an actor or whatever in the entertainment field. Well, not whatever, because I prefer to work certain aspects. Yes, I've done hair and makeup in the industry as well, but that's not where my goal is. It's either acting or directing, producing, I would say. But
Wow.
wearing that producer's hat, I can tell you, is frustrating.
Oh, yeah. It's very frustrating. But thank God.
Oh, my God.
Thank God, though, for crowdfunding, though, because otherwise everyone would still be using their credit cards like Kevin did.
Well, some probably, yeah. And others, it's like, probably would not, because it may not be as feasible. I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Earlier this, I watched an interview you did on Skype earlier this year and stuff. You look great. What's your secret to not aging?
It's in the genes, man. It's in the genes.
It's in the genes.
I don't personally think I do anything special. Sometimes I feel like I need to moisturize more than I actually do. No, but honestly, I think it's just in the genes, and I've always had younger than I look.
It's great. You're beautiful, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Marilyn, you are awesome, and I thank you so much for your time. I hope I get to meet you at a convention or next time I come to Los Angeles.
I hope so.
I'm trying to move out there and stuff. I've been trying for years, and I think 2019 might be the year. Thankfully.
It's tough. It's tough out here. What you think will be easy is actually once they move out here, and I say, be prepared to have to hunt for an apartment because, I mean, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Prepared to really hunt for a job as well because there's so many people looking for work. You know, never mind California, everywhere, but here in California it's even rougher. I mean, you know, many times that I was looking for work, I thought, when I moved out here, I thought, you know, it shouldn't be that difficult. I've never had a problem looking for a job. Yeah, complicate that here.
Yeah. Well, fingers and toes crossed.
Yes.
So, thank you. Have a great day.
Awesome.
And let's continue putting the hookers in Times Square to shame.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Marilyn Ghigliotti. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Marilyn. It was such an honor. I got to finally talk to somebody from a Kevin Smith movie, and that's just fucking awesome. And you're a lot of fun, and you have great stories. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.